Thank you, Mori-san, for those inspirational words. I think I counted at least 2 near-death experiences, and probably there's maybe some more coming. But it's it's a great example of well, gambaru. It's, I guess is one word for it. But I think every startup has these kinds of challenges. You just have to just go through them and keep believing in yourself. And thank you also for making yourself available to the other entrepreneurs in the room, because that kind of networking is so important. Perfect timing. Our second speaker just walked into the room. So I think everyone, I don't know if Uzumi-san needs any introduction. Euglena is one of the big successes in the biotech field in Japan. It was founded by Izumo-san back in 2005. And thank you for your generous words about the Japan Society. We also picked Euglena as one of the winners 2 years later in 2013, before it went private, and we've had a long and very good relationship with Izumo-san over many years. So we're just delighted that again, another example of an entrepreneur who very boldly and courageously worked in this sector, worked through problems, and has been quite successful. So without any further ado, please welcome Izumo-san. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for having me the very exciting opportunity to share what we do and how to develop the bio startup ecosystem in Japan. I'm Mitsuru Izumo. I'm running a bio startup company called Euglena as a founder and CEO. And I'm also I'm the vice chair of the councilors of Keita, and the chairperson of the startup committee at Keita. Japan Business Federation is one of the largest business organization in Japan. So today I'd like to divide my speech into 2 parts. And first half, of course, I'll share the why I started my own business very briefly. And in the second half, I will share how we can develop the bio startup ecosystem for startups in Japan, which is the main driver to realize a sustainable society. And just before I came here, I had a committee meeting at Keita on startup promotion. And this week is very important time for us, to concentrate on tax reform discussion with the LDP committee. And on December 14th, the Tax Policy Research Committee, LDP, will be sending out a general outline of tax reforms, tax system in the next coming year. So I'll be back tax discussion soon today. And anyway, let's get started. My background. When I was a student, first grade in the University of Tokyo, I visited Bangladesh. Bangladesh was still regarded as the poorest country in South Asia. And I saw the real poverty issue there. The most important thing is that not starvation, but malnutrition issue is crucial in developing countries like Bangladesh. There were so many, a huge amount of rice curry. They could access to the full amount of rice curry, but they couldn't access at all for fresh vegetables green fresh fruits, oil, fish, meat, everything. They couldn't access to the fresh nutrients. So the real most challenging issue is not a starvation, but malnutrition issue. Then when I came back to Japan, I studied hard on nutrition for solving the malnutrition issue in developing countries. And so you see the in nature, there are so many kind of plants, microorganism and macroorganism like seaweed or macroalgae as well. And when I came to know what Euglena is in the third grade in the University of Tokyo, you see Euglena is very, very tiny microorganism. The length is only 0.1 millimeter, very tiny. So we should use a microscope for observing the Euglena. And Euglena is green colored. Euglena has chlorophyll. Euglena can do photosynthesis like other plant. And what makes Euglena unique is that Euglena is a kind of plant plankton, and at the same time, Euglena can move by itself like animal. Euglena has both plant and animal genes. Euglena has both plant and animal characteristics, and Euglena can produce vegetable dietary fiber, fruits, vitamins, animal proteins, fishy unsaturated dietary fatty acid, every kind, 59 varieties of nutrients Euglena can produce at one time. It's perfectly fit for solving the malnutrition issue. But it's extremely difficult to cultivate Euglena in a pure or sanitized environment. In nature, Euglena live in the sea, in the pond, in the river, in water, and every kinds of bacteria, planktons, insects, birds, human beings, they love to eat Euglena. It was extremely difficult to prevent from biologically contamination. So since 1980s, a lot of scientists, researchers were interested in the mass cultivation, mass commercial scale cultivation of Euglena, but they had to set up special facility like clean room, but it was very expensive. So we tried to change the way a protocol for the cultivation of Euglena. And after the so many times, 500 times attempts, this is a very fast time. It has been done, succeeding for the mass cultivation of Euglena in 2005. Our factory is located in Ishigaki Island in the Okinawa prefecture, the most southern part of Japan, because we need a huge amount of carbon dioxide and sunlight for the mass scale cultivation. And after that, we founded my own startup company. And I am also working to build a startup ecosystem for Japanese universities. You know, in Japan, Japan has 780 universities, colleges, and national research institutes. And there are more than 3,000 startups, companies created by universities. To be exact, 3,782, and half of them have gone bankrupt due to losses. I'm afraid, but it can't be helped. Of the 3,782 startups, 64 have gone public. Yeah, that's a great accomplishment. However, all the 64 companies were listed on the Tokyo Stock Exchange, emerging markets, mothers. So there were no listed companies on the first section of TSE among university startups until 2014 in Japan. In 2014, we, Euglena, did IPO, and we were promoted to the first section of Tokyo Stock Exchange. At the time, our enterprise value exceeded $1 billion, making us a first unicorn company in Japan among university-launched startups. And it was the following year that I received the Japan Startup Prime Minister Award from the late Prime Minister Shinzo Abe in 2015. I explained to the late Prime Minister Abe about Japan's startup potential. There is still a lot of technology left in Japan's universities, like you have. And there is still a lot of great technologies left in Japan's universities. As proof, 1 out of 50 university-launched startups has gone public. This is a very high probability, and we must strongly support university-launched deep tech, biotech startups. And we launched a joint venture with Grameen to realize my dream of solving malnutrition in Bangladesh that I decided when I participated in Grameen's internship program in Bangladesh. And right now, I deliver 10,000 Euglena fortified school lunch every day to children and Rohingya refugees in Bangladesh. 10,000 Euglena school lunches have cured malnutrition in children and refugees in refugees camp. This project was highly evaluated by the Japanese government and received the Japan SDGs Grand Prize in 2021. Our 3 business domains, we have 3 business pillars. The first one is, of course, healthcare business. We produce Euglena supplement products, cosmetic items, and the number of monthly subscribers is reached around 700,000. Every day, they use our Euglena cosmetic shampoo, many kind of items they use. And we also provide a school lunch to the children in Bangladesh as a social, sustainable business. And the last one is renewable energy business we do. Everything you see on the screen right now is Euglena. I have collected more than 100 different kinds of Euglena, and some of them they create a lot of vitamins or calcium, minerals, and the other of them are very oily Euglena. In 2010, I began research the possibility of making biofuel by mixing waste oil from restaurants and oil squeezed from algae, Euglena. The biofuel that I have completed has been delivered to the certification body in the United States, ASTM, American Standard Technology for Materials Committee. The US Embassy and the Japan Society of Northern California have given us many opportunities and supports. Euglena's BioJet fuel, sustainable aviation fuel, is recognized as the 6th in the world to be certified as a sustainable aviation fuel in accordance with ASTM 7566. Based on ASTM 7566 jet fuel can be used in all types of aircraft in the world. Thanks to that, we became the first company in the world to produce biojet fuel from algae and to fly the Japan government aircraft. The aircraft you see on the screen is a Japanese government aircraft. On the right side, it says refueling SAF, SAF 給油中と書いてあります。SAF refueling SAF. This year, on the last May, we supplied 5 tons of Euglena-based biojet fuel for Prime Minister Kishida to attend the G7 summit in Hiroshima. The Japanese government, Kishida administration has decided to increase the risk money for startups from the current 800 billion yen to 10 trillion yen in next coming 5 years. Last year, the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry's budget for startups amounted to 1 trillion yen. Japan will do everything, seriously increase the number of startups tenfold over the next 5 years. We will try to catch up with United States in 5 years. I'm hoping that today's conference could become a good catalyst to start open innovation between Japan and the United States and eventually create a sustainable society. I'd like to conclude my speech by expressing my heartfelt thanks to Mr. Larry Greenwood, who has supported the Japanese startups. You have encouraged so many entrepreneurs longer than anyone else all these days. Yeah, thank you very much for having me the great opportunity. Thank you. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Izumo. That's, again, very inspirational. And every time I hear Izumo-san, I always come away with a new sense of purpose. And also an interesting story that, starting with food supplements and then going to biofuel for jets, for SAF. I think that's another interesting story about the ability to pivot, which is really important for startups.